Holidays mean late nights, parties, less sleeping, more sugar, missed workouts, and as you have such limited time to focus on your fitness routine, I've broken down all the healthy habits to the one most important one that may help you live to be 100 years old. Superagers are peoples whose brains function decades younger, and new research from Alzheimer's and dementia shows that they share traits that help keep their minds sharp. They tend to be outgoing, tenacious, deeply connected, and known for living life on their own terms, with human connection at the core of that. Superagers also appear to have more neuron cells linked to sociability in key emotional and cognitive regions of the brain. According to neuroscientist Joel Kramer, the only other species with this trait is whales, who ironically also live really freaking long, but that's more of a coincidence. AKA, their social life may be linked to their longevity. There's still so much we don't know about lifestyle versus genetic factors. But Keltie, realistically, you might say socializing seems exhausting. So let's talk mental health. We all now agree that our mental health affects our physical health. So of course it makes sense that our relationships would also influence it. Experts say our social health matters because humans evolved to survive in groups. That's why we literally feel safer around people. On the flip side, we also have to talk about you do need intentional alone time. Research even called the discomfort of not getting enough alone time as loneliness. Solitude can help regulate emotions, lower cholesterol, and boost creativity, making it very different than unwanted loneliness. Like anything in life, you can overdo everything. You can overdo food or you can underdo food. You can oversleep, you can undersleep. You can overworkout, you can underworkout. You can also over-socialize and you can under-socialize. The WHO labeled socialization as a hidden epidemic with over 871,000 annual deaths linked to loneliness between 2014 and 2017. That was even before, I'd say the actual loneliness epidemic happened in 2020. And what loneliness is linked to, according to the WHO, increases in risk for heart disease, stroke, type 2 diabetes, anxiety, depression, dementia, and even early death. Dun, 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 dun. So there's such an importance about being in community, but you're probably seeing a lot online of things like boundary settings. And I actually saw this idea from the Instagram account, the Atom Daily. Protecting your peace, setting up boundaries is great, but we might have taken it too far, because protecting your peace is great, but a great life isn't meant to be 100% peaceful. And a harsh truth is, myself included, sometimes setting up a boundary and not being social is laziness. Now, yes, you need to relax, but also sometimes it's just because the couch is too comfy and not talking to someone is easy. Also, caring about not waking up puffy the next morning and stuff like that isn't the most important thing on earth. Without getting into alcohol, you don't have to drink, but at the same time, you can go out and be social. And it's not always easy. If you're tired from being overly social and staying up too late, that's different. But not enough people talk about how tired and exhausted you can feel from not being social. And maybe that's actually what's making you so tired. Okay, be more social. Sounds good in theory. Here's just some tips I want to mention. Inspired from the Instagram account cloverswellness.co, the term they used is you need to become a villager. Over the last few years, we've become selfish. Self-care being one of the most important things to Gen Z and Millennials. We can't just expect someone else to make a community, and we won't find real ones scrolling all day. We have to join clubs, hobbies, shop locally and get to know the vendors, volunteer, actually say hi to your neighbor, plan dinner nights. Here's an idea of what I actually do. I like to over-exaggerate a party and plan them for regular hangouts. Instead of being oh, on Saturday we're going for drinks. No. It is the holiday season kickoff soiree. Saturday Pilates? No. It's Hot Girl Recovery Hour. There's this app, Partyful, where you can make these custom little cards. I send them to my friends. I make it seem like this is a grand event. And no, we're just going for drinks on Saturday, but just making sense of it. And being the person that just says it's a party with family. No, we're not just meeting on Sunday. It's the annual lighting of the O'Connor Christmas tree, accompanied by hot cocoa, delicious treats. But sneaky me, this hot cocoa is actually a hangover cure from the night before with my friends, because I will be having my share of bubbly this holiday season, but I'm avoiding waking up hungover because I make sure to hydrate enough. Talk about habit stacking. Hot cocoa, time with your loved ones, and getting your electrolytes in. And of course, the electrolyte I have in is Element, because of its science-based ratio of 1,000 milligrams sodium, 200 milligrams potassium, and 60 milligrams of magnesium. It tastes delicious. I don't get cramps anymore. It helps with hangovers. If you're working out for an hour plus a day, you should definitely look into getting electrolyte supplements to replenish the electrolytes you lose when sweating. And I love Element because it tastes delicious. The citrus, grapefruit, one of my favorites. And of course, I'm not going to talk about it and not give you guys a code. If you go to drinkelementd.com/Keltie, you'll get one of their bestseller packets with your purchase. This is the best way to try their most popular flavors or share with a salty friend. Once again, that's drinkelementd.com/Keltie. I've been called out so hard of looks so aesthetic and the mess that's in the corner. Now we're all chronic overthinkers. I sure do. But you know who are people's favorite people? The people who reach out, the people that make the party, the people that set things up. So if you're scared of people not liking you, reach out, because then you'll be the person that people like. And to my introverts, BACP, accredited psychotherapist Lorraine Collins says, take a risk. This is basically doing the opposite of what your head is saying. Talk to a stranger in a coffee shop, smile at someone in the street. It may feel uncomfortable at first, but behaving differently to your norm means you're taking some positive steps. And the reason I wanted to make this video is we hear all the healthy habits of fitness and working out, but the one thing that seems to connect people to not just having a long life, but a fulfilled life is a social life. And during the holiday seasons, there's a lot of guilt involved. You're throwing off your routine. You're eating a ton of treats, the ones that remind you of your childhood. You're missing some workouts. But do not view this as throwing off your wellness. A lot of people have been locking in November, and a lot of you are going to be locking in come January. We're all busy. We don't have the time to perfectly fill every bucket of wellness every single month. Certain ones take priorities over certain months. And right now, your main priority is community, your social life, your loved ones. The most important healthy habit of all. Merry Christmas, happy holidays, whatever you celebrate, go be with friends. That is the point. That is the one thing that connects them all. And even if the research eventually says, oh no, actually not being social, who cares? You had a fulfilled life. Be social, take the risk, reach out to people, enjoy this time. So when you sit there and you're like, oh, I'm being off my wellness as you cozy up with your family, no. You're filling that community bucket. You are crushing that healthy habit. Have a great day. Go pet a dog. Love you guys. Bye.